Here I'm entering Lake Elsinore. All these little hills make this area so pretty. This is a Econo Lodge motel and says casino, restaurant and cocktails. All in one. Here we are. It is a weird setup. I park here on this parking lot. You can see the motel over there. Here's the casino sign, casino shuttle bus, and some building. Is that casino there? I don't know. There's a building down there. People are entering. There's a flag, and there's some posters, some horse racing and stuff. So I assume I go there first to check. There's no sign saying what the building is. Open 24 hours. Looks like bad hair day, but let's do this. When I arrived and entered the poker room, it was big. It has 13 tables and also 5 blackjack tables, which is independent operation from the poker room. The game was 2-3 no limit, and that's their favorite game. There was a main game table and the feeder table, so I got a seat at the feeder table. Mine is $40 to $300, so I bought for $300. Mostly local old guys, and on my left, lady with her son next to her. It was Mother's Day, so they came together for lunch and some poker game. He kept busting out, and she kept pulling $100 bills from her purse and giving him a rebuy. Later he had come back and he built up his stack to $500-600. Game was slow and I was losing blinds and pre-flop raises. I actually won first couple of hands, but then everything stopped. And about half hour later, new player shows, Mark, a local guy. According to his stories, he plays some bigger games and they know him very well. And he creates action. Recently, I see people like that in every poker room. There's always a guy who sits down and he would almost like without looking raise 27 pre-flop. That became like some poker illness. $27 in 1-2 or 2-3 game is a lot. It is like 14 big blinds. That's a lot. That would be raised probably in 2-5 game, like standard raise 25. But these guys, they want to eliminate and play heads up only with maybe one player and then get lucky on a river. So this Mark started doing that from the hand one. He sat down and even said, ladies and gentlemen, put your seatbelts on. 27. One hand, another. And it's expensive if you start chasing him. And then when you see his hand, he has nothing. He has king 7 and then he gets 7 on a river, or he has Jack 6 and he gets on a king Jack 3 flop, he has middle pair and his next bet is $40 or $60. This Mark, I have to admit, he is a good player. He's not some maniac just throwing chips in, and his post flop game is really decent and good. So to beat him, because I don't want to do rebuys, I need the good cards and they're not coming. It took a while and I was really getting annoyed with the whole game. He wins one pot, then he loses next one. So he wins one, lose one, so he's 50-50, and he's all the time on his 300 that he bought, and maybe he has another 50 to 100 that he's going to lose in the next hand. I was waiting for the right opportunity, but it passed like close to 2 hours and nothing. Then there was a hand when I said, well, I cannot keep folding. So I had a king deuce of diamonds. I remember my buddy Scott from Madison Scott's favorite hand. He collects royalties on that from people that win with king deuce. But I was suited. I was on a big blind, and under the gun had straddle for $6. Next player called, and Mark immediately made it 27. That's his standard number. People folded, came to me. I look at that king deuce. I know it's not much, but suddenly I felt something in the air. I'm telling you, there was something telling me that I have to call. Don't miss this one. So I'm in it, with a lousy kicker and suited. The other players folded, and I'm heads up with Mark. Flop comes, king, deuce, 6. 2 hearts, no diamonds. I check, Mark bets 40. I call. And he's mine. He cannot have king 6. It's ridiculous. Turn is 10 of spades. And knowing that this is my pot, I check, letting him bet one more time. He puts in 65. I go all in, and he calls. Pot is $384, and the river is deuce of spades. I show the full house. He shows king 10. At the moment when we went all in on that 10, he was beating me. I was thinking, this guy is a clown, and he had me. But that lucky deuce. Several hands later, he left and changed the table. It was close to 2 o'clock, and the tournament is starting at 2 o'clock. I asked how many players play that. They said usually 80. I said, that is good. How much is it? I don't know, $55. So I decided I'm going to go and play tournament. There's still 15 minutes, so I played a few more hands. One of them, I got king jack of diamonds. I made it $13, and 8 of us saw the flop. That is some new poker disease. Playing any 2 cards. So everybody limps for $3, and then when I make it 13, everybody calls. 8 people saw the flop. And the flop was king, king, king. I have a quads, but can't make much with it. So I checked. Everybody checked the flop. Turn card is an ace. So now someone must have ace. There's 8 players. I checked, hoping the bet is coming, but 6 of them also checked it down, and the kid on my right bets 30. Okay, should I just smooth call, or if he really has an ace, he's not folding that, so I bet 100. He called. The river is 10, completes the Broadway. Maybe that's what he had, but he wouldn't bet with a gut shot. I'm first to act, and I make it 100. Kid starts and folds. I show the king just for entertainment, and then I go to a tournament.
So cashing out about 150 plus and going now into tournament. There were only 2 hands to talk about. I'll tell you later.
All right, thank you.
13 seat 7. That's guaranteed win. So it's a break in a tournament. I'm not doing great. Card dead most of the time. I had a couple pots, but mostly nothing. So this place is really weird. When I lived in Palm Springs, I heard about Lake Elsinore, and it sounds to me like something in Swiss Alps, like some fancy place. But it's not. And looks a little bit crummy inside. There's a bar and sports bar. They look really nice. The restrooms are really good, all renovated, brand new tiles. But the poker room looks dated. There's 13 tables and there's like 5 blackjack tables. I don't think I'm coming back here. And it's not the place where you want to come back. Just locals. Really slow game. It's a second break. And now I'm doing good. I actually got one big pot. Most of the chips I made in one hand. Huge pot. I had done a big blind, king deuce of spades. There was a raise on my right, and 3 of us saw the flop. The flop was ace, king, 3, 2 spades. I checked, kid on my left checked, and the raiser bet 3,000. I have 6,500. So with a little Hollywood egg, I went all in. Kid on my left folded, and the raiser called. Turn was jack of clubs, and the river spade. Huge pot. He had ace 10. Since then, card dead. I'm going back to secure that final table. We are down on the third break. I have about 45,000 chips. Being blind is 8,000, so that's not many big blinds, but still I can play. All those chips I got at the previous table thanks to a hand where I was extremely lucky. There was a raise in front of me. I look at the pocket jacks. Raise was 3,000. Big blind was 1,000. So I decided to go all in. Guy on my left calls. I said, you have ace queen. He said, better. The original raiser, he said, I'm all in. Where am I now? I show jacks. Guy on my left shows queens. The original raiser shows kings. Comes flop. Ace, 7, jack. And I have a lot of chips. We are down to 13 players, 10 are paid. I'm going to make some money. Final table. Just before we went to final table, I had pocket kings when somebody went all in. Flop was king 4-4. There's another 4, and the river was jack. So we almost trapped that hand if the 4 came on a river. Took the guy out. Next hand I had ace king, took another guy out, and we made the final table. We are down to 6 players, so I'm about 4th.